Bonjour, bonsoir, buenos dias, buenas noches. Welcome back to my channel, you guys. So today we're going to be talking about Unfaithful, the newest episode. And this one's called I Feel Like a Side Chick Almost. Crazy title, right? So let's talk about this one. So Jessica is the young lady. She's in a relationship with Evan. He's like a music guy, and they've been in this relationship for about a year. So they live about 45 minutes apart, but she feels like she's giving more than she's receiving in this relationship, which is why her antennas are starting to, go all over the place and start wondering what is going on with her relationship. So she says that, well, from what she said, it seemed more so like they had like a trauma bond type of situation. And also it sounded like she had abandonment issues, was what I had wrote when I was listening to her kind of tell her story. And ironically enough, well, not really ironically, but Tammy did kind of mention some of those things as well. So I was like, okay, so we're both kind of like on the same page with that. So Tammy mentioned that she used to self-sabotage a lot of her relationships in the past. And she's like, is it possible that you could possibly be doing that? But it wasn't really the same because she wasn't really self-sabotage. She actually had good reason to believe what she was believing, even though she wasn't too sure. It's like her intuition was letting her know that something wasn't right. She did mention that he had a best friend that was a female who she did meet, and the girl like kind of ignored her, like didn't even acknowledge her or know about her existence, which she felt was kind of weird to her. And so she did also mention that her who was it? I think she said that she's afraid of people leaving her because her father had committed suicide. Same thing happened with Evan. His mother had committed suicide. So that's where, like I said, the trauma bond kind of came into play, where they both had some traumatic events that occurred in their life, especially with a family member, a parent. So that connected them and allowed them to have that shared experience and be able to kind of talk about it and heal together, come together, talk about it, things like that. So now, like I said, he's best friends with this female. Her name is Liza. He stopped posting Jessica. So like things was just like really seeming real suspicious or whatever. So they set up cameras in his studio, and we see that the female, she was in the studio, and he was just like really flirty. He got down on one knees, did a fake proposal. I mean, it was all fun and giggles, but it was still kind of weird. Like, it was just like, you doing too much. Like, if I see my man doing these things and I'm not there, it's like, what the F are you doing? You know what I'm saying? So it was definitely disrespectful knowing that you have somebody that you're with, especially if this is supposed to be quote unquote a friend. Like, it wasn't looking like friend type of stuff by the quote unquote jokes that was happening. It was just like a lot of flirtatious stuff. They went to go get a tattoo together, and they were just acting like they were like all in love and stuff like that, and talking about, oh, my love and my this and my that. So it was just, it didn't seem platonic. So the investigator, I mean, she got real bold this time around. I was like, okay, I see y'all doing a little extra over here. So they end up actually going to one of the venues that he was at, sitting down and having a conversation with him, and was able to get a little more out of him and ask a little bit about Jessica and things like that. And he did mention that he has this friend because she did call him, and then also mention a little bit about his girlfriend that he has. And so it was kind of good that he didn't completely disregard her or disrespect her or act like Liza was his girlfriend. And he did even mention Jessica's name. So that was kind of cool. So they showed Jessica everything that transpired throughout the whole time that they were investigating, all the videos and stuff like that, and how they ended up hanging out, going shopping, doing tattoos together, like all of the stuff that they did. So Jessica, she was like, of course, hurt, because she's like, the same things that he's saying, that she saw him saying in the video, is things that he was actually telling her as well. So it's like, what is really going on here? Like, this is crazy, So she ends up saying that she wants to try to see if she can team up with Liza, because it seems like Liza doesn't really know anything. So she felt like that would have been the best route, which, in this particular instance, it was a good route because it seemed like she was kind of like oblivious to everything. So that's exactly what they did. And Liza, she seemed super confused when she met Jessica. She didn't know what was happening. She's like, what are all these cameras doing here? Liza said that she didn't even recognize Jessica, even though Jessica was like, I met you more than once. She's like, yeah. like, bitch, I don't know you. Like, I've never seen you before in my life, even though it's like one of those people that just don't care, you know? Like, you're not significant to me. You're not important. So, no, I didn't see you. Like, damn. So Liza said that he's pretty flirty with her, but nothing has ever happened. He has this mantra, this slogan where it's like forever alone. So she's like, we always made this promise to each other that we would always be forever alone. And they would like not get together, not get in a relationship or anything like that. But Jessica asked her, as a woman to woman, you know what I'm saying? Woman to woman, do you think that what he's doing would be considered cheating on me? Like what he's doing with you? And she's like, yeah. So she definitely kept it real, kept it honest and everything like that. So as soon as he saw both of them coming, he just like instantly, he had the look of shame, put his head down. I mean, honey. He looked like a sad little puppy dog that just got his hand caught in the cookie jar. For real, for real. So, yeah, he was looking nervous. He looked like he was about to have an anxiety attack or a meltdown. So he ends up saying that he actually loves them both. And that's why he has the thing like talking about forever alone, because he just kind of hurts people and that's not what he wants to do. And then he was telling Jessica like, yo, we barely hang out. He's like, you know, and that's why like I have this like forever alone for real. And Ken called him out on that because he was like, I feel like right now you're using that forever alone as a crutch. And he was like, you know, it kind of feels like you're just hurting people, you know? And he said that he didn't really want to hurt Jessica, and that's why he has this whole forever alone thing, because he knows like he's so chaotic and he does end up hurting people once he gets into relationships. So he said that the thing with him that I guess kind of plagues him is that his mother, she relapsed. She was on heroin. He said like his entire life she was on heroin. She started doing better, got clean, and then she relapsed. And she asked him to come see her, and he said no, and then she killed herself. So it's almost as though he's taking that blame on himself, you know, because he feels like he could have changed something if he would have actually went when she requested him, you know. So that's definitely a heavy burden to bear, especially if you're carrying that and not releasing it over all these years. So that's why he's kind of, I guess, turned into this person who kind of is just like, you know what, like, I just want to be alone. And it's like, even though he's saying that, he's still getting into things and bringing people into his stuff and just kind of like either discarding them or hurting them and not being upfront and honest, which, you know, a lot of times if you're just upfront and honest, let them know that you want to be alone. But I do feel like he did give Jessica hints, because even the song that was playing that she said, oh my God, like he said that song was for me. But then when he was talking to Liza, he was saying like he kind of made like certain parts of it for her, like thinking about her all the time and stuff, like forever in my mind or something like that. In that song, it literally said, from what I heard, like something about like, this is why I need to be alone, or I'm alone, or something like that, or single for life, or, you know, something that indicates that. I don't know the exact words, I'm kind of paraphrasing, but it was pretty much along those lines. So if he made that song for you and he's saying like he's single forever and all this stuff, like, think about it, mama. Like, he's literally telling you who he is. It's just you're not really listening because you want to hear a certain thing. You want to believe a certain thing. And that's what a lot of us tend to do. You know, you hear the truth, you see the truth, but it's like you want it to be something else. So you're like, you know what? I'm going to push the truth to the side and I'm just going to kind of focus on this right here. So, you know, and that's where the problem tends to lie, is that. But Ken also said, like, you know, this is more of a codependent type of relationship where they're helping him to bring him up because he's broken, but it's also keeps them broken as well because they feel so bad for him because he's in a sunken place. And, you know, now you're pouring all into him and then you have nothing left, you know, and he's out here living his best life to a certain extent, even though he's still hurting. And that's why he's doing the things that he's doing. He's still like kind of like an energy vampire, taking from this one, taking from that one, you know, so that he'll never fully be alone and he can protect his heart, protect himself because of his insecurities, because of his abandonment issues and all of these things that he has and his trauma that he's dealing, well, not even fully dealing with, just kind of pushing to the side. But he, at least he knows, he was like, you know, I emotionally cheated, which, you know, that's bad. And Liza, she said that she did feel bad for the situation. And you could tell she feels like she didn't really create boundaries with him because she's like, you know, you were flirting so much with me and things like that. And, you know, she just kind of always wanted to just be there because he's quote unquote her best friend. So, and it was also revealed that his mother, before she died, she did say that she wanted to see the two of them get married. So that brings in even another layer to it. That's another reason why he was probably holding on to her so tightly and just kind of doing all these things, flirting with her, pretending to marry her and things like that. But he, like I said, he claimed he loved them both when they asked him. But Jessica wasn't with it. She was just like, you know what, like, I'm done with this. Like, she was over the situation. And 3 months later, she stuck to her word. She does still have a cordial relationship with him. I guess a friendship. You know, God knows how that's going to go. You know what I'm saying? Because that'll keep you locked in as well. That can still also be a codependent type of relationship because you're still caring so much about this person, still trying to help them. Even though you're not like in a sexual relationship, she can become like the next Liza, where although it's not at that point, you know, they might start flirting with each other because you have that history. And, you know, now he's still doing the same thing, just in a different format. So it still could get kind of messy, but I mean, it is what it is, right? At least she claims that she's single. So that's how that one went. It was definitely interesting. Let me know what you thought about that episode down below. I'll see you guys on the next one. Later.